Welcome to Friday's Flashcards with Math Science History, the podcast where we explore the fascinating ways math and science shape our world. Hi, I'm Gabrielle Burchak. I have a background in math, science, and journalism. And this week, oddly enough, is Fix a Leak Week. Today, we're diving into a practical topic, plumbing. Specifically, we're going to talk about emergency fixes for a leaky pipe under your kitchen sink using some quick math and physics tricks. These tips can help you slow or even temporarily stop a leak until a plumber arrives. So whether you're dealing with a pipe joint, a crack, or a hole, I've got you covered. Not only will I share step-by-step solutions, I will explain the physics behind why they work. So let's get started. Before we jump into the quick fixes, let's understand why leaks happen in the first place. Pipes under your sink are exposed to water pressure, temperature changes, and physical stress. Over time, pipe joints can loosen, small cracks can develop, and external forces can cause holes. Understanding the forces at play will help us create better temporary fixes. One key physics principle here is fluid pressure. Water moves from high pressure to low pressure, meaning that any weak spot in your pipe will allow water to escape. Our goal is to create a seal that counteracts this force, either by redirecting the pressure, creating a vacuum, or physically reinforcing the weakened area. So, a pipe joint is where two pipes connect. Over time, these connections can loosen, leading to leaks. So here's a quick fix. 1. Turn off the water supply. First, shut off the water to reduce pressure on the leaking joint. If there's no dedicated shutoff valve, turn off the main supply. 2. Apply pipe thread tape. So if you have Teflon tape, also called plumber's tape, wrap it around the threads of the joint. This tape fills in gaps and prevents further leakage by creating a better seal when the joint is tightened. 3. Use a wrench to tighten the joint. A loose connection might just need to be tightened. Use an adjustable wrench to carefully tighten the joint. Carefully. Don't overdo it. Too much force can crack the fitting. 4. Temporary rubber wrap. So if you don't have Teflon tape, use a strip of rubber, like a rubber glove or a bicycle inner tube. Cool, huh? You can use that around the joint and secure it tightly with zip ties or a hose clamp. The rubber expands under pressure, helping to seal the leak. So why does this work? Well, pipe thread tape acts as a sealant by filling microscopic gaps in the joint. And 2, rubber wraps work due to compression mechanics, which increase surface tension, reducing water escape. It's also cool. I love physics. So, a cracked pipe is a bit trickier, but you can still create a temporary fix with some simple tools. 1, turn off the water supply, okay? This prevents the crack from worsening while you work. 2, use epoxy putty. If you have plumber's epoxy putty, knead it and press it into the crack. It hardens within minutes, sealing the leak temporarily. 3, DIY tape and rubber solution. So if you don't have epoxy, take a piece of rubber from a glove, an inner tube, or even some plastic wrap and wrap it around the crack. Secure it tightly with electrical tape, duct tape, or zip ties. And then 4, clamp it down. If you have this available, use a hose clamp or even a C-clamp to keep pressure on the patch. This prevents water from pushing through. Why does this work? Well, epoxy putty forms a solid mechanical bond when it hardens, temporarily sealing the crack. And 2, rubber and tape solutions use hydrostatic pressure. As water pushes against the rubber, the tight wrap reinforces the pipe structure. I love physics. Okay, now let's talk about fixing a hole in a pipe. If your pipe has a hole, a fast trick can help stop the leak until the plumber arrives. Notice I keep saying until the plumber arrives? Yeah, sometimes you gotta get a plumber involved. First, to fix the hole in the pipe, turn off the water supply. Always the first step. 2, coin and clamp method. Okay, what this is if the hole is small, place a coin directly over it and secure it tightly with a hose clamp or a zip tie. The coin distributes the water pressure, blocking the hole effectively. Okay, the next step. 3, a plastic bottle wrap. Cut a plastic bottle so that it can wrap around the pipe. Secure it tightly with duct tape, hose clamps, or zip ties. The air trapped inside creates a vacuum effect, reducing the leak. And 4, rubber and tape method. Just like for a crack, Wrapping the hole with rubber and securing it with tape can create a nice short-term seal until the plumber arrives. Okay, so now why does the coin trick work? Well, because it spreads pressure over a larger area, making it harder for water to escape. The plastic bottle method works on the principle of negative pressure, where trapped air prevents water from escaping as easily. And finally, the rubber and tape method relies on compression sealing, which redirects the water pressure. So, while these tricks can save you from a big mess, they're not permanent solutions. You gotta call a plumber. And call them as soon as you can, okay? But to prevent future leaks, here are a few tips. 1. Inspect your pipes regularly for signs of wear. 2. Avoid over-tightening the joints. This can weaken the fittings. 3. Use pipe insulation to prevent cracking due to temperature changes. And then 4. Know where your water main shutoff valve is to act quickly in emergencies. Or in our case, when you're getting ready to throw a party and all of a sudden the water spews a leak. It's always right before a party, isn't it? So it's Fix a Leak Week. I hope these tips help, and I hope they help to remind you to inspect your pipes. So that's it for today's episode of Math Science History. I hope you enjoyed today's Flashcard Friday, and I hope you found these emergency plumbing fixes helpful. Remember, a little math and physics can go a long way in solving everyday problems. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share it with your friends who might find it useful. And until next time, carpe diem.
Did you know the word plumb comes from the Latin plumbum, meaning lead? The Romans used lead to make water pipes, and that's why we call those who fix leaks plumbers, a nod to their original work with the metal. And what about the B in the word plumber? Sometime during the Middle English period of the 12th to 15th century, pronunciation changes saw words like lamb, climb, and plumb lose the B sound, but not the spelling. The word drain is thought to trace back to an old Germanic term that also gave us the words dry and drought. At first glance, they may not seem linguistically related, but when you think about it, it makes perfect sense. Hello, Math Science History listeners. I'm Leon, host of Etymology on Word History, where I explore the origins of words and names, along with historical events tied to them. You can listen wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Etymologion, that's ETYMOLEON.